All right, so the DNC Democratic National Convention, which is slated to take place here in Chicago, hasn't even started yet, and we've already got tons of drama to the point where it's almost getting overwhelming for me to even cover all this. But I did want to cover this story right here. So you have a very popular, I don't even know what you will call this guy. Some people call him a journalist, some people call him a propagandist, but his name is Roland Martin. You might have heard that name before. He is extremely popular among the Democratic circles within the black community. Yeah, he found out real quick because he got confronted by a very well-known activist in Chicago named JaMal Green. So let's actually play the video of how that confrontation went, and I'll go ahead and explain like how the whole thing started. But by the way, I do also want to say this confrontation took place at the Apostolic Church of God, which is actually my childhood church. Shout out to Bishop Arthur M. Brazier. Rest in peace. He died like a while ago. But yeah, I just thought it was so interesting. I'm like, wow, this confrontation took place at the church that I basically grew up in and got baptized in and stuff. It's crazy. But anyway, here's the fight. Well, not fight, but here's the confrontation and here's everything that happened.
Hold me 1 second. No, ain't no. I gave you enough pictures. Yesterday, you tweeted about you called me dumb. You called me dumb.
All right, we got to break this down. We got to break the footage down. So as you can see, that's clearly JaMal Green. He approaches Roland Martin in a church. Just so you guys know, that is a church. He approaches Roland Martin. He's clearly trying to confront him. He does not look aggressive to me. He looks aggressive as if he wants to talk because he has a bone to pick with him. But I can't imagine him taking the swing at Roland Martin in a church. Like if I was Roland Martin, I would be like, okay, let's talk. Like, I wouldn't really be worried in that environment. There's so many people around. Even if something happened, it's not like you're going to get beat up. People are going to break it up. Like I wouldn't be as afraid as Roland Martin appeared to be. Now let's go ahead and analyze the footage again. So I'm going to put it on mute and we're just going to analyze it. So that's JaMal Green right there coming up to Roland Martin. He's like, 1 second. So he clearly doesn't want to talk to him. And then if you really look at just the body language and the gestures, Roland Martin is clearly, he don't want to be a part of that. He don't want nothing to do with that. A black woman comes and tries to break it up. JaMal Green's clearly just trying to talk. I don't even really see JaMal Green raising his hands because you have people in the comments saying that, oh, JaMal Green was coming up there on some tough stuff trying to fight him. I'm just not really getting that vibe. I'm looking at him. He's got his hands crossed. Look, the guy has his hands crossed. He's not really bringing up his hands at all. He comes up there, his hands are crossed. He just doesn't seem like an actual aggressor to me. I guess it appears like he's getting a little bit aggressive, but he's really not. People are just touching him, so that's why, it kind of looks the way it does. But, yeah, very interesting. And so after that, somebody took a picture of Roland Martin looking afraid, and then JaMal Green posted this picture, and he said, new profile pic, and it's a picture of Roland Martin just looking scared. He's looking at JaMal Green like it's one of those Kia boys trying to take his car. He looking at him like oh my god, you can't lie. This is pretty funny. This is a funny picture, and Roland Martin definitely looks scared. And let's just kind of go over like how this beef started. So for those who don't know, I got you covered. The way that this beef started is it is Roland Martin's fault. He's the one who started it. JaMal Green was just minding his business. Okay, he replied to a tweet. Something about something, I don't even know. But he replied to a tweet and he said, does anybody want to tell me what first generation is code for? LOL. Pay attention to the cryptic words being used to show us what agenda is their agenda. Yet you literally have black folks acting like the Democrats will prioritize you when you have the lowest home ownership. Okay, let's see what he was replying to. That's what I want to see. That's not true. Oh, okay. So he was replying to a tweet by Mario Nafal, and it's about Kamala Harris. Okay. So he's not a fan of Kamala Harris. Roland Martin quotes his tweet. Remember, this happened like a few days ago. And Roland Martin said, are you that dumb, JaMal Green? If black folks have the lowest home ownership rates, that means incentives for first-time home buyers will appeal to black folks. Are you that clueless? So Roland Martin kind of goes on this little bit of a tirade. He starts kind of, making certain tweets about JaMal Green, calling him names, going after him and stuff, which, just to be fair, Roland Martin, I don't hate Roland Martin. I do like his content sometimes. Sometimes he makes videos on stuff that I care about, and I do like his coverage, but he is pretty egotistical. I've been watching Roland Martin for years since he was on TV One. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. He's definitely got some egotistical problems. He never, ever admits that he's wrong. He's extremely confrontational. He's big on the name calling. And I just think that sometimes you got to understand that not everybody's going to take that. You know, you call certain people names, or you call them out their name, or you call them out, they might pull up. That's just how it goes. You got to be ready for that. That's what comes with it. Or you just got to watch what you say. And so after that, Roland Martin decides to do an entire segment on his show about JaMal Green. And let's just play a little bit of that video so you guys can see what he said.
Matt, here was this fool, JaMal Green. Go to my iPad. This fool tweeted, does anybody want to tell me what first generation is code for? LOL. Dumbass is first generation. Pay attention to the cryptic words being used to show us what agenda is their agenda. Yet you literally have black folks acting like the Democrats will prioritize you when you have the lowest home ownership rate in the country at 44%. Like, stop. See, Matt, the reason I can't stand fools like this here, and I think this fool ran for mayor of Chicago or something, I don't know, but he's stupid. Here's why.
He did run for mayor of Chicago, and shout out to him for doing that. Running for mayor of a large city is not an easy thing to do. And I thought that his campaign was, well, I didn't pay too much attention to his campaign. I remember he ran, but I remember he said some things that he wanted to do that I was definitely in favor of. I think it's actually courageous when young people like him run for mayor. It takes so much work, paperwork. You got to get signatures. I just think that's kind of lame to go after somebody that said, oh, this fool ran for mayor. What's wrong with running for mayor? Like, I don't know. Let's keep going.
Here's why it's dumb. I remember 2008 having Alphonso Jackson, who was the HUD secretary.
All right, so I'm definitely not going to go into the entire rebuttal. I'm just covering the drama here. But, yeah, so basically Roland Martin did an entire segment. He's calling them names. He's calling them stupid. This guy's an idiot. He doesn't know anything. And JaMal Green took offense to that. I don't mind JaMal Green pulling up and confronting him because, unfortunately, with guys like this, they think they're higher than mighty. They think they're too good to, meet up with you or confront you unless you have like this big name. And I would definitely say that Roland Martin has a bigger platform than JaMal Green. So the only way JaMal Green would ever be able to confront him is he would have no choice but to pull up on him. That's the only way. If he emails him or calls him or whatever, gets his number, whatever, he's just not going to respond. That's just how these guys roll. So I'm not mad at JaMal Green for saying, you know what, I don't appreciate what you said to me. I'm going to pull up to you in person, and we're going to test the temperature. We're going to see what your energy is because, again, he's a man, and you're calling out another man. You're calling him out his name. You can't control how people respond. Again, I'm not for the violence. I'm not saying you should be violent, but if somebody wants to confront you on something you said about them in a church, not that huge of a deal to me. That's just my opinion. Also, Roland Martin should have known from the beginning that JaMal Green was about his business because after Roland Martin posted that video basically calling JaMal Green all these names and calling him out, JaMal Green said, Chicago, when you got eyes on Roland Martin this week for DNC, let me know where he going to be. I need to make sure we discuss his verbiage in person. So JaMal Green was already putting the tweets out like, hey, let me know where this dude going to be at so I can pull up on him and find him. Now, I will say this. If you're going to pull up on somebody, I would definitely say don't do it in the church. Let me be very clear about that. I would not have done that in the church. I would have probably pulled up at something else, maybe the United Center or wherever the DNC is having their events. I would not have done it at a church, especially the Apostolic Church of God. You were at the house of Bishop Arthur N. Brazier. That's the house that Bishop Brazier built. I love Bishop Brazier. I miss him. He was a great dude. Yeah, I wouldn't have done it there. Like I said, I don't mind the in-person confrontation because the problem is it's impossible to get in touch with these types of guys because he's right. He's a keyboard warrior. That's just true. I mean, if you look at the footage, Roland Martin just looked like he just didn't want the smoke. So, you got all this stuff to say on the internet, on your keyboard. You're dumb, you're stupid, you're an idiot, you blah, blah, blah. But then when it's in person, you don't want to confront, and then a black woman has to step in and kind of separate you guys. I just thought that was kind of lame. I mean, if I was in Roland Martin's position, highly doubt this dude is going to take a swing at me in a church in front of all these people. He's probably just coming up to me being aggressive, but he wants to talk it out in an aggressive way, which is cool because Roland Martin is aggressive too. So if we're both going to talk aggressively and it turns to a shot match, so be it. As long as nobody takes a swing, I don't think it's an issue. And I don't think that JaMal Green was going to take a swing. So that's just my opinion on the whole thing. But anyway, that's the drama. I'm sure there will be a lot more of the drama with the DNC. People have been asking me if I'm going to go because I live in, I'm from Chicago. I live here. No, I'm not going. I just think it's going to be very chaotic. I don't know what to expect. There's going to be all these protests, going to be all this traffic, which oh my God, I hate Chicago traffic. But yeah, I will not be there, but I will definitely cover the drama that takes place at the DNC and any other important updates. So yeah, don't be surprised if most of the content this entire week is going to be just strictly what's happening at the DNC because yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, that's today's video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.